You will always meet people who are better than you. But the thing is not to be ashamed of like how you're worse than that person is, but to discover what quality traits on there make them better, make them shine to you, make them inspiring to you, and learn from them. Hi everyone, I'm Shelly, and today we're doing one new member interview. And please tolerate us if there's any inappropriate thing today, because the speaker today is kind of psycho. Yeah. So today we have Flora Chen with us here today. And so before we start today, let's have Flora Chen do a brief self-introduction.
Hi everyone, I'm Flora. I'm currently a rising senior at Kita High School, and I established Lighthouse last April, and I'm glad to do this interview with Shelly today.
Yeah, so basically, if you don't know what this interview is for, so this series of member interview is probably talking about their experience for immigrating from China to US. So a lot of questions will be on their experience along their journeys and their current situation and compared to their past experience. So let's get to today's interview questions. So at what age did you come to America?
I moved here when I was 13.
So that was what grade?
7th grade.
So why did you came to America? Was it like your own intention, like you wanted to come to America, or it was like mainly your parents?
It was mainly my parents. So when I was very young, it's a funny story. I heard my parents saying like, hey, we're gonna put Flora out. I thought what that meant was that they're gonna abandon me when I grew up. But what they actually meant, so they planned for me to come to America at a very young age. I knew it. So yeah, that was how it was.
So you said like your parents actually had to plan for sending you out at a very young age. So did you do any like preparation before you came here?
Not really, because my parents thought like for a child young as me, it would be pretty easy for me to like adapt to the life here and learn the language. So I didn't really do any preparation.
So like without any preparation, what's your first impression here?
First impression, I would just say I was really scared. Cause for me, although so many people told me that it's gonna be easy to adapt, but I still felt like it's totally a new life for me here, and I don't have friends anymore. There's a totally new language and culture for me to adapt to. So yeah, it's just very scary for me as a child.
So yeah, I know it must have been a really difficult time when I first came here. So how long do you think take you to fully adapt to the life here?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I think it took me around, I would say 4 years to adapt, up till
4 years?
Yeah, up till January this year to fully adapt. For language, I think that was about 1 year, but fully adapt, that was till this year.
So cause you talk about fully adapt. So what's the definition of fully adapt?
For that, I think it's I feel like the me in China is the same person as me in America, because when I just came here, I think I became I got so less confident. I wasn't confident at all, and I felt so scared making friends, and I became a socially awkward person. But I think it's until this year that I learned to be the same person I was in China.
Yeah, thanks to me.
Thanks to Shelly.
Yeah, I know it must have been a really difficult time for our immigrant students to adapt to the life here, because it's totally different. Everyone around you is different. You lose many support that you used to have. So at that time, everyone is very vulnerable, and we're glad that every member of Lighthouse have overcame that. Because if they haven't, they won't be organization. Okay, so let's talk back to your school life. So during this whole what would say 4 years here, what's one thing in school that you hate the most?
Group project. Because I always came across as a shy person, and then I would just be really afraid to talk to people when they don't do work. So I basically there's so much experience of carrying the whole group. And yeah, for now, like I would just say, I really want to say to my past self that you should just really talk to people, communicate with it, so that we better cooperate as a group.
So, if you could turn back the clock
Mm-hmm.
and knowing what you have gone through this so many years, would you still choose to come to America or stay in China?
Hard question. I would come to America because I think this experience like really transformed me. Although I confronted a lot of obstacles, I think that just made me into the person who I am today. So I would still choose to come.
So talking about obstacle, what was like the biggest obstacle if I have you to choose one?
The biggest, I would say, is culture. Like, I think the biggest is about embarrassment, because there's so many times you have to put yourself out there. You'd be embarrassed because sometimes you don't know like the culture and the rules of like a lot of things. And then for me, back in 8th grade, I remember like getting teased at for like not knowing a joke or not knowing the rules of hockey, which is basically like a common sport. And I think thinking back, like those embarrassments meant nothing to me now, because I kind of forgot like how it was. But at that time when I was like 14, at an age that we care about others' opinions so much, it's a huge thing to me that people laugh at me. People don't understand like what my thinking is like. They just think, oh my god, this girl is kind of like weird. She doesn't get our jokes and stuff. So yeah, that was like the biggest obstacle that I think I had.
And by the way, she is weird, but she's super cute. So she's like,
go away.
Weird, cute. Yeah, please
Weirdly
tolerate her weirdly cuteness. So looking back, what's like one decision you really appreciate yourself in making?
I would say this one, I have a very like obvious answer, that is like building the team at Lighthouse. I think that
How dare she not say this one?
This one?
How dare she not say this one because she's doing an interview for Lighthouse?
Oh! Oops. That's my second best decision. But building, establishing Lighthouse is the proudest thing that I've done. I think it really taught me a lot of things throughout the process. I learned how to lead people. I learned how to take others' opinions. I think those are really important things. And in the beginning, I was really like ambivalent about like whether to start Lighthouse or not, because I didn't think I had the leadership skills. But it turns out that you can learn that as you go. So I'm really proud of myself for starting it.
And talking back to leadership, we always hear the word like a born leader. But like in my opinion, no one is born leader. It's just like everyone is born in their own way, and certain special traits on you make you like a unique leader to everyone. There's no best leader. They're just like the good leader. Maybe there's bad leader, but I have never met one. Okay, I've met one before, but I won't mention his name because
you start to laugh again.
But anyways, yeah, Flora is really a good leader. I know you really love her, although she's so stupid. And yeah, okay, let's go to next question. So like, if I were asked you to give advices to students who are coming to US, what would they be?
I would just say don't care about like embarrassing yourself. That's what makes you grow. Yeah, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, but a lot of times, even if we give this advice, it won't change anything. Cause
I know sometimes you have that thought in mind, but you just wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
It's very difficult, but we all get it. Just try.
It's different from hearing advice and actually applying it to real life.
Very true.
So you talk about that, cause like you wrote an article, yeah, I read it. And you talk about you were really anxious during your junior year until like recently you have like fully relaxed for the application season. So can I know like what's making you so anxious about? I mean, cause like you have a perfect GPA, like a 4.0, yo, and this girl is telling me she's anxious for what?
I think the main reason why I was so anxious was because that I saw and I met so many people who are so much outstanding than me. For example, Shelly don't. I know she's not, just kidding. I'm just flattering her. Yeah, like there are a lot of good people at Acadia High, and I just felt like I'm such like I'm such a mediocre person, and I don't see like any traits in myself that make me different than others. And the one thing about me is I feel like I'm not a creative person. I think my best characteristic is being hardworking, but I feel like compared to creativity, hardworking is such a minor trait. It doesn't seem to matter that much. And then that just made me so like self-conscious about myself until I had like a conversation with one of my good friends, and she told me like hardworking is something that many people don't get, and that just made me like that calmed me down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I see what you mean by there, and yeah, I don't have hardworking that quality trait on me. Like I'm so unmotivated.
Glad you know.
But I have creativity.
How dare you say that in front of my face?
Okay, but like yeah, that's like a common thinking everyone would get as you meet more person. Maybe you go into society, you go to like a bigger college, you don't know more person, and a lot of times, yeah, it's sad, but there's a lot of genius right there. I want to say genius like eliminate their hard workings and their efforts to become the person they are. But one thing we need to realize is that you will always meet people who are better than you. But the thing is not to be ashamed of like how you're worse than that person is, but to discover what quality traits on there make them better, make them shine to you, make them inspiring to you, and learn from them. So that's how you will deal with yourself and become in love with yourself. Don't feel self-conscious. I mean, everyone is special in their own way. And so coming to America, you said it's like a completely new life to you. So what would you think is one thing that you've lost because you immigrated here?
The loss I lament the most is losing the ability to like speaking eloquently, because like although my Chinese is still very bad, Shelly knows, but I think I was still able to like express the nuances in my idea. But when I speak in English, it's like I'm only able to express the most simplistic form of myself, and that just makes me really hate it. Like hate speaking English. But I think over the time I gradually accepted it and I got better at it, so now I think I can to accept myself.
So after hearing, you think speaking ability, like being to express yourself like eloquently is the most important thing you've lost? So what's the most important thing you've gained?
The most important thing I gained is friendship, because Shelly, because here there are a lot of Chinese immigrant students who I have a lot of like common topic to talk about, and we can all feel each other's pains. I mean, there's not much pain actually. Like we can all feel each other. We can understand I can understand why Shelly might be like depressed a day and why she might be happy the other day. And friendship is an amazing thing.
So what would you choose as like a defining moment for you as you've realized you really grow?
I would say last summer when I was doing an internship at Santa Monica. I feel like at that time, because that my experience coming to America as a Chinese student taught me so much and made me face a lot of obstacles I didn't want to face. When I faced new obstacle when I was doing the internship with college student, I didn't feel discouraged. I have the guts to keep going, and I think that was super good for me. Yeah.
Based on my understanding of you, since I've known you for 2 years or 1 year, whatever. You really have a really rich extracurricular activities. You have internships, summer programs, non-profits, clubs, or other things about that. And she's keeping a perfect GPA 4.0. So can you tell me what's your motivation behind attending so many different extracurricular activities? Because you have to handling heavy schoolworks and academics at the same time.
Yeah, I know this might sound very cliche, but I every time I participate in an activity, I feel like I'm gaining something. No matter it's skills or meeting new people or learning new things. It's like it just feels natural to me that to participate in this activity, as they can all teach me necessary things I need in life. Every time when I participate in something, I just have the thought like, oh my god, I'm learning something new, like I'm so proud of myself. And it's kind of like I don't know, I kind of like subconsciously have that thought motivating me to like keep going. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, knowing you've like handling so many different activities and academic at the same time, I definitely see like the hardworking quality trait on you. So if I would ask you to choose what's like one most important quality trait you would think that contributes most to your accomplishment so far?
I would say persistency. Yeah, like for most of my nonprofits that I've co-founded, I feel like it's like the single most important thing is being persistent, because like 80% of people give up along the way, and if you just like get across that boundary, you surpass those 80% people, you already succeeded. So yeah, I think that's what made me being able to like run multiple nonprofits at the same time and also have a good grade.
And I mean, we've talked about so many good things about you. What's one quality trait on you want to change the most?
Although I said I was a pretty persistent person, I think I lack like seriousness of intent. If I'm a person who does long distance running, I can run for a very long time, but I don't run fast, if that makes sense. Like I don't go in deep enough. For example, for Lighthouse, I don't feel like I'm doing all the work I can possibly do. I just keep doing it over time. And that's one thing I hope I can change for me. Like I hope I can put in all my effort into one thing like every day. And I feel like I just been not doing a good job with it because I always like give up so easily. That kind of conflicts with what I said about persistency.
Yeah, woman is a controversial species.
Yeah. Let me just say, okay, if I rate myself for what I've done with Lighthouse and my other nonprofits, I would give myself a C, because I don't complete each assignment as an A student. I don't put in all the effort. I put in like minimum effort, and I just hope I can get better at that in the future.
So like, I don't know, we know in America, people talk about passion a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're maybe doing like applying for an internship for a summer program, they always ask you, what's your passion? What's the thing you're most interested in? Mm-hmm. So do you have a passion?
Yeah.
What's it?
My passion, okay, I think I have 3 passions. Like doing activism work, hip hop, and maybe golf. I'm not that into golf, but I do like it as a passion.
How did you find out like those things are your passion?
Explore. Just try different things out. You're gonna find that one of the things you tried as a passion for sure. You would know you love it, because it's a completely different feeling when you're bored when doing it. So yeah, you can tell when you try.
So I don't have a timer in my hand, but I will try. So now let's look back to your past lives. Look about the hardship you've overcome, the obstacles you've gone through, the welfare, the happiness, all those moments. I'll give you 2 minutes. Compliment yourself.
Instead of complimenting myself, I would give some advice to my past self. I hope you can meet Shelly earlier. I hope you don't care about people's opinions so much, and I hope you don't need external validation to be happy, because they don't matter, and what matters is that you stay happy.
Now, talk to your future self. How do you think you will become? Like, what kind of person you think you will become in the future?
I hope I can come to peace with being an introverted person, because I tried so hard in the past to act like an extrovert, but I just hope I accept whoever I am, and find out the spotlights of myself.
And thank you to everyone who came so far to watch it. If you have I'm so sorry I invite such a psychopath today with us today, but knowing during special time we can't really have so many different guests. So I hope you guys are doing okay and stay safe, stay
Bye.
strong.
Thank you.
Live like your love
Please,
yourself.
please don't laugh at me. Yeah,
Yeah,
don't
please.
do enough.
Don't laugh at her, just tease her.